Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sam, and in today's video I wanted to share my physical TBR with you all. I definitely don't have the longest physical TBR compared to some other people, but I do think that it would be valid information to see where I am now, see how this changes maybe in 6 months to a year, and also give you a place to potentially recommend books that you want to see me read in reading vlogs, books that I should prioritize. So of any of the books that I share in today's video, please leave them down below if you would like to see me read them. I will try to work them into upcoming reading vlogs. So I pulled all of the books off of my bookshelf, which are unread, and I did just count through them, and I think that there's 40 here, but there are also books in the other room that are my mom's that I do want to get through. So I'll insert a clip later in this video just showing you that bookshelf, because there's a lot of books on there and they're all sort of the same vibe. But without further ado and further rambling, let's just jump into it and talk about the books that are on my physical TBR. I have these semi organized, but really also not at all. I kind of just pulled them and clumped them with books that are on the same shelf. So starting out, the first books that I have on my physical TBR is the rest of the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert. I have the 6 last books. I've only read book 1, and I did just get the majority of this series recently, so I definitely want to get to it very soon. I did really enjoy the first book, and I love a Greek mythology retelling. So we have Electric Idol, Wicked Beauty, Radiant Sin, Cruel Seduction, Midnight Ruin, and Dark Restraint. These are all in order. So there's the first 6 books. Okay, next let's continue with some more romance. So I have a Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is on my May TBR, and I'm really hoping to get to it this month, the next week or so at least. I'm very excited to read this one before my library hold of Great Big Beautiful Life comes out or is ready. So very excited to read this one. This is the last Emily Henry book that I own that I have not read yet. Next, I have The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is the last book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. I read the first book a while ago, and then I read book 2 again a few months ago and read it very quickly and was planning to pick up Final Offer very soon after, but just kept getting distracted. So I definitely need to prioritize this. I think this book is people's favorite, but I do just really want to finish this book so I can move into some of her other series. I don't have a hard and fast rule that I can't be reading multiple series by the same author at a time, but I would just like to finish this series before moving on to her next one, because I know that her world is somewhat interconnected and you'll get some snippets of people or characters in her other series. So I do want to finish this, maybe get into her F1 racing series, and then in whatever her newest one is. I have enjoyed these. They're definitely not my favorite, but I do like the writing. It's very quick to get through. This one's just so much thicker than the other ones and a little bit intimidating. Next, I have 2 Bridgerton books by Julia Quinn. I'm not sure which ones these are. Oh, actually, I think this is book number 2 and this is book number 8. I also have book 1, but I have read it. And I think I just picked these ones up when they were on sale. I was planning on purchasing all of them, but I think I will just read most of them from the library. I did really enjoy book 1 more than I thought I would, but I don't know. I'm in my library era right now. I just feel like I am running out of space to store books, and I just want to get most of my books from the library. Next, I have book 2 of the Ruinous Love trilogy, Leather and Lark. I read Butcher and Blackbird and really did not enjoy it that much, and I haven't heard the best things about this one, but I am more curious about the characters that are supposed to be in this one. So I'm hoping that I end up liking it. I was going to get Scythe and Sparrow, but again, I've heard mixed things, and I've also heard that the audiobook is a lot better, so I might just listen to that one on audio. through Spotify or something once I finish this one, but I definitely need to get to this one. I have quite a few books that are continuing series or wrapping up series on my shelf, and I feel like that's the only type of reading vlog that I do recently, but I really want to get through and finish all of the series that I'm in the middle of so I can wrap some up, finish them off, and then start a bunch of new ones. But I don't know, are you guys sick of seeing those kind of vlogs? I personally love seeing people finish off series. I think it's so satisfying, but let me know. Another book that is finishing off a series, I have Daydream by Hannah Grace. Does anyone know if the series is continuing or if this is the last book? I bought this like right after it came out and was really excited to read it. And again, I just never got around to picking it up. But I feel like I should really try to prioritize this soon. Just, it seems like such a springy book. Next, I have a couple Christina Lauren books. I have Beautiful Bastard, which is book one of the Beautiful Bastard series. I want to own this whole series. I feel like I'll really enjoy it because I love I never know what the series is called, but the first book is Sweet Filthy Thing. I've talked about it quite a few times on my channel, and I just absolutely love that series. So I do really want to own all of these, but this one's definitely a lot longer. I think there's like 8 books in the series, plus there's a bunch of novellas, and I want them all. I have always wanted them all. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be a very OG romance book, like a workplace romance. I need to get a couple more of these so I can start the series. And the second book that I have by Christina Lauren is The True Love Experiment. This is book 2 to The Soulmate Equation, which I really enjoyed, but I don't quite know how this one links, or I don't necessarily remember the friendship of, like, I assume the main character in The Soulmate Equation and the main character of this book, but I did really enjoy The Soulmate Equation, and I'm very excited to get into this one. This one does look deceptively long, but there is bonus epilogues and bonus chapter in here. I think so. Again, looking forward to reading this one as well. Okay, I think just 2 more romances left. I have The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. I've heard pretty good things about this author, and I'm just very intrigued to try her out. I know this is like a werewolf shifter romance. That's really all I know about that book. I think it's just kind of a silly, goofy, fun time. And then the last book I have is Ellen Hildebrand's Trouble in Paradise. I don't think this is the first book in this series, but I heard a lot of people hyping up Ellen Hildebrand a couple of years ago, just having great summary reads, and I picked up this smaller copy because it was a pretty good price at Walmart, I think, and I just have yet to pick them up and read them. This copy does seem pretty small all around, and I just feel like it'll be a fun summer read. And then the last thing I have in this pile, kind of random, but this is the Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Wrath of the Triple Goddess, the Senior Year Adventures book 2. So it has the original cast of characters, but Percy is trying to get letter of acceptance or something. Just a really fun, nostalgic, quick read, and meant to pick this up when it first came out, just never got around to it, finally picked it up, and I still just have not read it. These books are so quick and easy, just fun, just a fun, nostalgic read for me. I loved Percy Jackson growing up. Oh, and I just realized, look at how beautiful this green is. Okay, the next pile is mostly fantasy. So first I have The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This was very kindly gifted to me by bestie Emily, and I'm very intrigued to get into this series, get into this author. I feel like The Bridge Kingdom made its rounds a couple years ago, and it seems to be coming back around again. I've seen a few more people reading this for the first time and loving it, so very intrigued to read this one. Next, I have another series. This is technically 4 books, but they're both bind up. So this is the Wicked series by Nancy Holder and Debbie Vigier. So there's Wicked, which consists of Witch and Curse, and Wicked 2, which is Legacy and Spellbound. I read Wicked a number of years ago, and it took a while to get into and really understand what was going on. And before I could find Wicked 2, I felt like I needed to read the first one again. So that's why they're both in here. I still have yet to read Wicked 2, and I just really want to read these or reread these because I did end up really enjoying the first one, and I hope that I enjoy it as much the second time around. I think it's very much like teen witch fantasy, sort of paranormal romance vibes, very much so like early 2000s books. I think this one came out in 2003 and just very nostalgic to what I read like in high school. Next, I have a Twisted Tale anthology. So this is like a collection of what if twists. So classic Disney stories, but a little bit different. So just on the back, it says, what if Snow White learned magic? What if Mulan became the Emperor's advisor? What if Remy the rat met Colette first? So just like the classic stories, but a little bit different. And I think there's 16 different short stories in here. And I think there is also a series of books that are like full-length novels about like retellings, but this is just a few different short stories. Next, I have Foxglove by Adeline Grace. This was also on my May TBR. I don't know if I'm going to get to it or not, but I'm so excited to get back to the series. Loved Belladonna and just cannot wait to continue. I also have Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner. This is book 2 to Godkiller, which I enjoyed but had a bit of a tough time getting into it, and I feel like I might have just not read it quite at the right time, but I'm very intrigued to see how the story continues. I'm also not sure if this series is finished or if there's another book coming out. I don't know. That one's like very like mythology based, kind of gods and god killers. Just very interesting world. And then the last thing in this pile, I have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. So definitely a historical fiction that has been on my TBR for a couple months and just have not gotten around to reading it, even though I am so excited to pick this up and see what I think about this book. This only gets high praise from what I've heard. I just really want to get into Kristen Hanna's writing. I've only heard the best things. So the last pile I have is a bit of a mixed bag, but the first books I have are 3 books in the Temperance Brennan series. I have book 6 and then 2 other books in the series. The series has like 24 books or something, so I'm slowly picking them up because I don't really have much room to keep them anymore, but I really loved the first book and enjoyed the subsequent books in this series that I've read, but they haven't been quite as much of like a favorite as I thought they were going to be, but I do really love them and I do want to collect them all because Bones is just like one of my favorite shows and the series is just so fascinating to me, just the forensic anthropology of it all. So I have 3 more books in this series. Next, I have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I picked this up on a whim a number of years ago thinking that this was the only book in this series. Come to find out it's a trilogy and I just have yet to pick it up, possibly because I've heard very mixed opinions about this series and I just really don't know how I'm gonna feel. I am intrigued. I do obviously want to get to it, but I don't know, it's just been so long. Next, I have The Fame Game by Lauren Conrad. I believe this is the first book in this sort of spin-off series. I read the LA Candy series and this follows one of the characters in that series sort of after all of those events. And yeah, I just have yet to pick it up. I did enjoy the LA Candy series. I thought it was a lot of fun, just very much teen reality TV vibes. So the next 4 books are from some series that I don't really know anything about. First, I have Nemesis by Anna Banks. I must have gotten it for cheap from Indigo, and this is book 2. Maybe this might actually be book 1, but book 2 is very hard to come by. It's not at my library, it's not on Spotify. So I've just been really putting it off because I'm not sure how I'm going to read the sequel. And I don't want to just read this one and then be lingering with the series. So I haven't picked this one up yet. And I also don't really know what it's about. I think it's very much like dystopian, paranormal, kind of vibes, not really sure. Next, I have Lies by Michael Grant. This is part of the Gone series. Again, not 100% sure. Very difficult to find the full series, and so I'm just not sure how I'm going to read these, where I can find book one. But again, I am intrigued. Like, I want to read all of these. They sound very interesting. Next, I have Radiant Shadows, which is part of the Wicked Lovely series. Again, not sure where I'm going to read them all, although I think some of them might be from my library. I don't remember. I think this is like a fairy, mortal, interconnected world, fantasy, sort of paranormal, romance, teen, something or other. And then I have Eve by Anna Carey. I do know that I can read this full series. I just haven't gotten a chance to pick it up yet. But I do really want to get to this and read it. This is like a dystopian sort of vibe. So this says The Hunger Games meets The Handmaid's Tale in this thrilling dystopian adventure set 16 years after a deadly virus has wiped out most of the Earth's population. So again, very much those like 2010s vibes. And then lastly, I have a few Greek mythology books to talk about. So I have The Odyssey by Homer. I wanted to read all of the like original myths and just have not gotten around to it. This is also an illustrated copy. I took a lot of mythology courses in university, and I wanted to read all of the myths. I just have not gotten a chance to, but I wanted to read like maybe a story a day or a story like a week. I'm not sure entirely how long they are. And with that, I also have the Iliad by Homer. So I want to read these as well. But again, I just think it's long and time consuming project that I would really like to get to. Yeah, some of these seem pretty short and some of these seem a bit longer. Maybe not too bad. Again, like maybe I could read like one book a day, because each book is like 20 pages or so. And then with that, I wanted to read those before I got into the Song of Achilles so I could read the original myths and then be able to get into it and hopefully understand sort of the myths behind this book a little bit better. This is by Madeline Miller. I've only heard the best things about this, and yeah, I just want to read them finally. Okay, so lastly in here, I have two books that are my mom's, but are like the next books that I sort of have to read. So first, I have Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. I read The Da Vinci Code, I think in 2023, and have been meaning to read this one ever since. It was on a monthly TBR a few months ago, maybe longer than that by now, and I just have not gotten around to picking it up. I feel like I just really need to be in this mood, but I do really want to read this. I want to read the rest of this series. I have the Gatekeeper Trilogy, Book 2. This is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer like companion novel, I guess, stories that sort of fit in between the episodes of the show. So this is Ghost Roads. This is a little trilogy kind of in the mix of everything else. And yeah, my mom has a bunch of these, and this is just the one that I'm up to. Very much like companion sort of novels, more stories from the show. So very nostalgic. Love Buffy. Have watched it so many times. And yeah, so these are the next books that I'm hoping to get to from my mom's shelf, which I will insert a clip of that shelf here, kind of show you what's on it and what I am hoping to read. Okay, so this is the shelf that's in the other room. That is my mom's books. So I have the rest of the Buffy books here, which I'm up to here, I believe. So I've read these ones. So the rest of these Angel sort of companion books continuing, and then Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire series, all of these. And then down here, these are some classics, I believe. There's Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. There's the rest of the Dan Brown series, some here as well. Oh, another Interview with the Vampire series, Anne Rice. I have read this one and then these three Buffy books down here as well. This binder is a printout of what I think is like Edward's POV from Twilight or something. I don't know if I'll ever read this, but it is here. So maybe. I don't know if she ended, I don't know if the authors ended up publishing this, but my mom like printed this out from her website or something. I don't remember, but these are the other books in my home that I would like to get to at one point. So that was the last shelf. That's everything on my physical TBR, all of the books that I have yet to read and I'm really hoping to. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you see any books in here that you want to see me read in a reading vlog or want to see me prioritize, leave them in the comments below so I can try to get to them a little bit sooner. If you have also read any of these books, let me know down below, or how many books you have on your physical TBR. I'm so curious. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a like so that I know. I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!